Hello and welcome to the Moment Online Virtual TV. My name is Karen J. In case you're just joining us, why don't you just subscribe, like, and comment on my channel? And I'll always give you updates on what is happening in the country. The Standard Organization of Nigeria SON held a sensitization workshop today at Oka with a team of SON requirements and compliance monitoring activities to curb the influx and sales of substandard products in the country. The workshop focused on creating awareness and educating stakeholders about the importance of abiding to some standards to combat the issues of standard products in Nigeria. Mrs. Folaso Bolaji, the Director of Public Relations at SON, stood as the representative of the Director General, CEO, Dr. Ishani Okeke, and read the opening remarks. This signifies the MD's commitment to addressing the issues of substandard products, actively participating in events and initiatives like this workshop. Why don't you just sit down and listen to what Mrs. Folaso Bolaji, the Director of Public Relations, I'll be right back.
I want to recognize Ejiofor BC, Deputy Commander, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, who is representing here Commandant of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Anambra. And also want to greet and appreciate ACP Arete Eyo, representative of Nigerian Police Force. They are our good stakeholders, and all of you are our good stakeholders. And I also want to appreciate the management staff that are here, the Director ICD, Director Anambra. I think they've already taken their name, the head NMI, and the head Port and Border. I want to also appreciate the state coordinators from Anambra.
In case you kindly share, like, and comment. Don't forget my name throughout the world, participants, including industry representatives, manufacturers, regulators, and trade associations, were provided with valuable information on SON requirements and the compliance measures necessary to ensure production and distribution of quality products that meet established standards. The workshop highlighted the need for strong monitoring activities to effectively combat the flows of sales of substandard products in the country. Participants were informed about the various mechanisms and strategies employed by SON to enforce compliance, including inspection, testing, certification, and strict penalizing for non-compliance. So the state will listen to what others have said concerning the SON on this event.
Please, I wish to tell the House that we, the members of the Anambra State Aluminium Manufacturers Association, sincerely appreciate your effort. We have always been compliant, and we are promising that we will do much more better. We will continue to work in collaboration with Standard Organization of Nigeria to achieve our objectives. We appreciate the seminar. Our members are heavily represented, and we will continue to be of any assistance as long as it has to do with standard to get our objectives of getting to the high heights in this content. Thank you to you all.
Thank you, sir.
This is the Moment Online. My name is James. And we're talking about the Standard Organization of Nigeria demonstrates its dedication to combating the prevalence of substandard products in Nigeria. Through awareness and education is to create quality and consumer protection and consumers liaise with the agent overall mission, ensuring safety and customers in both domestic and international trade. In conclusion, the sensitization workshop organized by SON at Oka focused on the theme of SON requirements and compliance, highlighting the importance of monitoring activities to curb the influence and sales of substandard products in Nigeria. The opening remark by Mrs. Folaso Bolaji emphasized the compliment the Director General, Dr. Ifeanyi Okeke, in addressing his issue on efforts to educate stakeholders and enforce compliance significantly contributes to enhancing product quality and consumers' confidence in the Nigerian market. We want to stay tuned and enjoy more. And listen to what happened in the program. Enjoy more of the program. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Without any of this, there is no sustainability. Sustainability is very crucial for every industry, for every sector of life. You can name it. Economy, in the businessman must sustain his business. Next slide. Please, next slide. Now, inaccurate. Can I have the mic? Inaccurate measurement can lead to frustration and closure of any industry. If you are to weigh, you are ordering, let's assume you are bringing raw material and you have to wait at the weigh bridge before you accept it, and the weigh bridge is faulty, the equipment is out of calibration and is giving you under readings, what are you doing? You are losing serious money. And eventually, you are going down. Next slide. Now, National Metrology Institute is part of the National Quality Infrastructure of the federal government. The metrology standardization, accreditation, conformity assessment, these are the pillars. And metrology, we in Nigeria, NMI does scientific and industrial metrology, while the Weights and Measures does the legal metrology. Next slide. I want you to pass this, go straight to next. Okay, from here. This is the building NMI, is located in Enugu. Next slide. And these are the laboratories. The officer, they are carrying out calibration of weights. Next. This equipment of different labs. This is temperature, this is MIC. Next slide. These are offices, and these are the equipment. The director, when she was giving the speech of the DG, mentioned our mobile calibration equipment, where they are customized laboratory. They can be taken to any site in Nigeria, and equipment, your temperature gauge, length, barometer, oven, whatever can be calibrated inside this equipment. This is how the inside looks. You can see the weighing equipment. This is a weigh bridge equipment that we use in calibration of weigh bridge. These are 20 ton of weight, standard weight, F1, high accuracy, and then we use the truck to move it to any site. So we shall be in. Thank you. Yes, very soon my team will be in Juhel. In Oka here. I'm just coming from Inewi, and Inewi looks like every house is a factory. You need to do accurate measurement. Go to the next slide, please. Next. Okay, currently the NMI has competence in this field of metrology: mass, temperature, pressure, length and dimension, force and torque. We have competence in this, well advanced. Next. Then this is the one we are developing now, the MIC, metrology in chemistry, flow and big volume. We have competence in small volume, and we are developing the flow volume, the acoustics and electric. Maybe I will stop here. The essence of this brief is to ensure we sensitize Nigerians to know what we have in the National Meteorology Institute. You don't need to send your equipment abroad for calibration. You don't need to send them anywhere for calibration. They are right in Nigeria. Competent officers, competent high accuracy equipment. So check your balances that you use in weighing your raw material, bring them for calibration, and you'll be sure that your business will be sustained, your industry will not fold up, hospitals will give you accurate measurement. Without this, there is no nation that can progress. Thank you so much.
My name is ACP Anietie Ayo. I am the Assistant Commissioner of Police Operations, Anambra State Police Command. I am here to represent my Commissioner of Police, who is engaged in other activities and has graciously delegated me to be here in your midst. Goodwill message for stakeholders awareness workshop. Distinguished guests, organizers, stakeholders, and esteemed participants, on behalf of the Anambra State Police Command, I am honored to extend warm greetings and heartfelt goodwill to all attendees of this important stakeholders awareness workshop. I regret that I cannot be with you in person today, but I am pleased to have ACP Anyete Ayo, ACP Dobbs Oka, here to deliver this message on my behalf. First and foremost, I would like to commend the organizers for their initiative in addressing the crucial issue of some requirements and compliance monitoring activities to curb the influx and sale of substandard products in the country. Your dedication to promoting quality standards and protecting consumers is both commendable and essential for the well-being of our society. The theme of this workshop is particularly significant as it touches on a matter that affects the daily lives of all citizens. The influx and sale of standard products substandard products pose serious risks to public health and safety, undermining consumer trust and confidence. It is through collective efforts and strict compliance monitoring that we can effectively combat this menace and ensure that only quality products are available in the market. The Standards Organization of Nigeria plays a pivotal role in safeguarding the quality of goods and services in our country. Your efforts in setting and enforcing standards are vital for promoting fair trade, protecting consumers, and fostering economic growth. This workshop provides an excellent platform for stakeholders to come together, share insights, and develop strategies to enhance compliance and monitoring activities. At the Anambra State Police Command, we recognize the importance of collaboration in achieving our shared goals. The fight against substandard products requires the active participation of all stakeholders, including regulatory bodies, law enforcement agencies, businesses, and the general public. By working together, we can create a safer and more reliable marketplace for all Nigerians. We are committed to supporting initiatives that aim to uphold quality standards and protect consumers. The Anambra State Police Command will continue to work closely with SON and other relevant agencies to ensure that those who engage in the production and sale of substandard products are held accountable. We will also enhance our efforts in educating the public about the dangers of substandard products and the importance of compliance with established standards. In conclusion, I extend my profound gratitude to the organizers, sponsors, and all participants for their invaluable contributions to the success of this workshop. Your dedication to promoting quality standards and protecting consumers is instrumental in building a safer, healthier, and more prosperous nation. Let us all continue to work together with a shared vision and unwavering determination to curb the influx and sale of substandard products in our country. Thank you, and may this workshop be fruitful and impactful. Warm regards from CP Ogarabe Obono Itam, Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Police Command.
The President of Automobile Manufacturers and Importers Association, NEWI. When I came in, some directors of SON said, I want to introduce you to some of our leaders. They have been hearing about your name, Pastor Manuel Jidofo. And so what I want to say is that we have been in good relationship with SON. That is why under my administration, we rented an apartment to Son in Nnewi for years. And so from there, we started educating our people to work with Son and comply and make sure that their products have qualities. I'm able to say here that Nnewi has been the highest generator of revenue of standard organization of Nigeria in the whole Southeast. Check our record. It is not boasting. Check our record, is there. So our people understand the importance of quality goods. We have been working with some. They are our brothers and sisters. We love them, they love us. That is why we don't want us to separate in this marriage we have entered. So this, what they are doing today is to sensitize our people more. For us to work together, me, more, to relax myself. So I want to thank the organizers of this organization. And I want to make it simple that we are with Son. We'll continue to collaborate with them. We'll continue to work with them as we move on. But they will continue to recognize Nnewi, having said that we are the highest donor in Son to Son. Because what we are doing, it's no longer in news what Nnewi is doing with Son. So Nnewi as a local government or as a town have helped other Southeast to work and partner with Son. So I have reason to say this, but time will still permit me to talk more about what we have done to Son. Today in Nnewi they have what do they call it? Manager or coordinator. Yes. It has been today. Son have an office in Nnewi, a coordinator, Obuji or so. Many other coordinators have come. It is because of our hard work to sensitize our people, our business people, to register and work with Son. Thank you and God bless.
I bring you greetings on behalf of the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, CFR. I bring you greetings on behalf of the Executive Council of Anambra State. I bring you greetings on behalf of the 8.5 million Anambrarians. This is a beautiful event. It is beautiful because it is designed for sustained improvement in not just the productivity, but in the quality of the productivity and the efficiency of production in Anambra State. We are delighted to welcome the interest of Son, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and all the other partner organizations that are presently seated at the table and some that may not be here. Anambra State, as you know, is the light of the nation. And we are the light in so many ways. If you go back into history, the evident contributions of Anambra State to our independence is very evident. If you look through the history in the last 6 or so decades, our contributions have been sustained. Today in Anambra, under the leadership of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, we are reorganizing the economic structures of Anambra State. We're reorganizing the socio-political structures of Anambra State. The goals of the government is to build a smart mega city where everyone is free to live, work, and play, and pursue their happiness without limitations. A smart megacity is one that is physically connected by spaces where everybody living anywhere can get to one location, from one location to another within half an hour or thereabout. It is the reason the government is building as many roads as we are building in the short time so far. That's why in 2 years we have done more roads than some governments have done in 8 years. We're also building the digital connectivity. We're laying down 2,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables in partnership with IHS to ensure that 5G networks are available to everybody. Okay? And it's on a plug and play basis. We're introducing free education because we believe our people must be well educated. Education is the currency of the future. And educated people are the wealthy people. We're offering free healthcare because we believe that a healthy population is a wealthy population. And the government believes that our greatest assets are our people. The Anambra are known for enterprise, agro-processing. We are an agrarian economy that has grown into commerce, industry, and we have positioned ourselves as a global hub. Many decades ago, over 200 years ago, and it was established as a center of trade and commerce for the entire West Africa coast, and it has continued to evolve. Today, we are on the cusp of modernizing Onitsha. We're not just doing urban regeneration in Onitsha, where the roads are being rebuilt, street lights are being put back on, the urban water regeneration schemes are coming back on. We're having people encouraging landlords to paint their homes and making it competitive and awarding prizes to the best streets in Onitsha. 5-10 million from Mr. Governor and so on. So Onitsha is changing. And we're restoring its status as a center of trade and commerce and logistics in West Africa. And to ensure that that is sustained into the foreseeable future, a new city will spring up on Onitsha, on a 5,000 hectares of land located on the banks of the second Niger Bridge. You'll see a massive, beautiful green when you're crossing the River Niger. There will be located a brand new logistics city, Onitsha 2.0. The main market will be rebuilt. A modern market will spring up. All those congested spaces will have to move. Now, we are also doing urban regeneration work in Oka. Most of you who have been here for the last 16 years may, looking back 2 years, see how much transformation has taken place in Oka. Change is here. Oka will have a brand new city called Oka 2.0. Located in Mahu Forest. It's 5,075 hectares of land. It will be a mixed-use city that will have light industries, financial sector, and so on. And then we have the Anambra mixed-use industrial city, which will have an automotive industrial park, pharmaceutical industrial park, an agro-processing zone, a financial center, entertainment center, hotels and residential areas, and a generic industrial center where electronics manufacturers and so on will be located. Now, all these economic transformations are taking place in Anambra, and we are creating structures to ensure that the investments we make today will create a world-class economy of the future. This is where Sun comes in. We welcome our partnership with Sun. I have had 1 or 2 meetings with the previous leadership in my office, and we welcome their interest in working with us to establish basic standards. Basic standards, benchmark standards from which what will become known as made in Anambra will be used as a yardstick for quality on the continent and quality globally. So, we have an interest in having a harmonious relationship. We also have an interest in ensuring that our people are encouraged to rise to become the best they can without feeling frightened or intimidated by anything. We always feel that the best thing we can do is to encourage our people to open up and to flourish. We don't want anybody being frightened into moving into their shell, as we say. We prefer to engage with people in terms of training, sustainable engagement, workshops such as this, where people are trained and equipped The industries that we want to export, we have to work with them to ensure that they have in-house technical capacity to prepare themselves for export, to label their products properly, to analyze their products properly, and ensure that whatever components or materials or ingredients are in their products are well labeled. And that those things are also similarly translated into whatever languages of the economies or markets that they intend to target. We also want to help them to establish financial structures that will ensure that when they export or trade in any way, that they're able to get back their money. And so we have partnership with Afrexim and some banks in Nigeria to ensure that our products that are exported across the 50,000 countries can come back to the industries that are exporting or the exporters that are exporting through what we call it, what Afrexim Bank calls the Pan-African Payment System. It enables you to get your payment within 2 minutes of transaction. Okay, when you are doing any transaction, somebody can place an order from anywhere on the African continent in whatever currency, and you can choose your currency of settlement. The Pan-African Payment System pays you your full value instant. But I understand within Nigeria, the CBN by some rule makes it what we call T+1. That means day of trade plus 1 day extra. And we're working to ensure that we are at par with the rest of Africa, because the speed of transactions is important, is a competitive edge in developing the Pan-African free trade market, which is worth about 7 trillion. We cannot compete in that market if we don't have the best quality products. And so it is in our interest to ensure that our industries have the best quality products, because the rest of the world is competing with us in Africa. So we have to raise our standards to not just match their own, but to exceed it. This is our interest in the partnership with some, because we know that they can help us do that. But we want to do that in a free and open environment. We want to be able to do that treating our people as the best of the best. Because that's the best way we bring out who we are. You all know that a child who feels frightened about his father probably often is not the best behavior. When the car's father's engine sounds, everything in the house is orderly. When he's not there, everything falls apart. We want a situation where people who are in enterprise and industry just know what the basic standards are and keep their homes tidy and are in their best behavior, keep their industries tidy, compliant and all, not because they're worried about anybody, but because it is the best thing for them to do. And they know how to do it, and they're equipped to do it. This is our goal, this is our objective. We are building Anambra Mixed-Use Industrial City. It's a 4,141 hectare piece of land. And we are needing SMEs to move into that space. We are inviting local industries to move into that space. We are inviting global companies to move into that space. So, we don't want people feeling that it is impossible to meet standards. We want them to be trained, we want them to be equipped. We want them to see the future and to embrace it. The government is working to set up a transition fund of about 100 billion to help importers become manufacturers, industrialists for export. The government is working to ensure that we have a structured system by which we engage our people, that we support the rise of cottage industries, industries that will transform from small to medium, from medium to large. We're creating that process. And so we want people to feel energized, to feel love for enterprise, love for quality, love for growth, economic prosperity. We're working to eliminate poverty in Anambra State. The government has given out over 2 million seedlings of palm oil and coconut seedlings. We are handing out 1,040,000 palm oil seedlings, high yield variety that will fruit in 3 to 4 years. Families that get 10 to 15% of that will be out of poverty in 3 years. Okay. So these are some of the things that we're doing. We're training youths. We have a 1 youth 2-skill program where we train 5,000 youths, get them $2 billion naira grant, and access to another $2 billion. We're training an extra 10,000 this year to ensure that our youths are equipped. We are also working through the Solution Innovation District. We've trained over 20,000 youths in partnership with Microsoft on ICT skills. We're doing an extra 10,000 for 30,000. And we're going to be launching a program later on this year, about 2 or 3 months. The government is going to unfold the program that will bring at least 1/5 of the Anambra population into a digital drive. So we're working to create energy. We're working to create prosperity in Anambra. And we invite everybody to be part of it. This is our message to the Anambra. This is our message to Nigeria. This is our message to all of our partners. Anambra is open for business. We welcome everybody. And we welcome all the partners that will help us to make this.
Which is what our mandate also encourages us to do. One man cannot fight this battle. It is a job for all of us. So it might look as though there are overlaps in our functions and roles, but it's a welcome development because the work at hand is very large. And just one agency might not be able to comb every crannies of this country. So I want to encourage SON, and we also want to align with them to push forward and ensure that Nigeria becomes better. Thank you.
It's very important that we understand certain things. They say knowledge is power. And a lot of you, we understand Anambra, and we know that Anambra is one of the strongest nerve center when it comes to commerce, industries and trade. So we are here to enlighten you on the importance of standards. The only instrument that can deny you trade across borders in the world. That is the only instrument. Because we are a member of the WTO, World Trade Organization, which we joined in 1995 as a nation. And for that reason, we have to go by the guidelines and provisions. In short, any serious country that wants to grow in terms of trade and industry, industrialization, is a member of the WTO. And the only condition for you not to trade with a fellow country that is a member of the WTO is on the basis of quality, which is standards. So you can see how vital and important out of the 5 pillars of trade, standards is one. We have harmonization, we have transparency, openness, and the rest. So you can see how important standards is, and the importance of Standards Organization that is a member of ISO, International Organization for Standardization. And for that purpose, we are representing not only the interest of Nigerians, but the global interest, so that Nigeria will not end up being a dumping ground for substandard products. That informed the topic of curbing the influx of substandard products. This is just our vision. ICD means Inspectorate and Compliance Department, but let me say it in the layman's language, enforcement. This department is the enforcement arm of Standards Organization of Nigeria. And when it gets to enforcement, that means something has gone wrong. There's a default. So we want to avoid a situation where we will have to enforce. Like someone said, police na action, abi? They know they talk too much. So we are the small police also in our own right for Standards Organization. So when it gets to us, that means you don't live life, you don't take your own corner, so we will stop you. This is our objective, to build a sustainable nationwide. I don't have to read all that, and this is our vision. Go back to the mission is to eradicate to the barest minimum the importation, production, and sale of substandard products in Nigeria. Why do we say to the barest minimum? Because You can never, no country in the world can eradicate the issue of substandard products because there are so many factors involved, and that needs the commitment of everybody to achieve that. And that's the reason why we are talking to you. So I'll just go straight to our processes. We have 5 or 6 key processes or activities we carry out as a department. That's our key activities. Is warehouse monitoring and surveillance. And as we go through the presentation, you understand why we go to warehouses, importers, warehouses, even manufacturers, warehouses. Why we do that. So this is the procedure on how we do that. Warehouses, premises where industrial, commercial, and commercial undertaking is being carried out. These things are drawn from the Act of Son 2015. So we are empowered to carry out these activities. We go to a warehouse where we suspect, because we work strongly with information and intelligence. And how do we work with information and intelligence? Apart from our surveillance team that we have on ground, we also work with our ports and borders. The National Ports and Border Coordinator, Alhaji Sani, is here. That's why anywhere they're having a program or we are having, they have to be there. So both of us have to be there. We collaborate. So at times you'll be shocked that we come to your warehouse and you wonder how we did that and why we did that. Some people even be accusing each other, oh, it's my competitor. No. Because we have all importation documents. We have access to every importation document in this country. So we can trace you to your location. And to achieve that, recently the Chief Executive of Standards Organization of Nigeria, that's my DG, created additional offices. The enforcement office used to be only, the department used to be mostly domiciled in Lagos. But for fairness and equity for everybody that is involved in trade facilitation, in industrial and commercial activities, we created 4 additional regional offices, one of which is in Oka, we have one in Kano, we have one in Abuja, and we have one in Port Harcourt in addition to the one we have in the ports in One. So what we do is we trace the warehouse, we go to the warehouse, but most times experience has shown us that when we go to these warehouses, warehouses are usually places where the owners only goes there when they have reason to go there, either to pick goods or to drop goods. So we prefer to go to warehouses as against going to your business premises. And I will show you the reasons why we do that. I can still talk so that when we get there, we can just pass it. Let me just put everything together. Why do we do that? If we go to your shop, for instance, and you have customers in the shop, and now we decide to lock the shop and ask the clients to leave, the normal mentality on an average human, talk less of a Nigerian, is that this man's products are substandard. Oh, they sell fake products. Some don't lock in shop. Even in the market, the news will go everywhere, isn't it? And I can tell you, in ISO we say one unsatisfied customer tells 9 others. So if 9 will tell 9 each, you can imagine the way the information flows. The normal language is bad information, they flow fast, isn't it? So we decide not to do that. So we go to the warehouses so that now we stop it from the warehouse. Because it's like nipping it from the bud. Because if we go to the market, we might end up going to shops of these people who buy, traders. And once the person that is involved who owns the warehouse, especially if the product, that is, if the product eventually is verified and confirmed to be substandard, the owner of that warehouse would certainly make sure he evades those products being traced again. He will find a way of moving those products away, and they will still find their way backward into the market. So you can imagine you buying something and it does not give you value for money. That is if it is even a product that is not hazardous and harmful to your life. So that is why we do that. So that one, we nip it from the bud and stop further distribution of those products into the market and for use by Nigerians. Secondly, so that we will not destroy the businesses of genuine traders or businessmen. Because in most cases, once we have this intelligence, it is still assumed that your product is suspected to be what? Substandard, until we carry out our confirmatory analysis in the lab, which is the basis on which we will now conclude that your product is what? Substandard. So we can move to the next slide. So these are the provisions of the Act, of the SON Act 2015, that empowers us to carry out these activities. And in this presentation, we made it this way so that a lot of people just think we come out on the streets because we are a government agency, so we do things without any legal or law backing us to carry out that activity. So you can see for warehouse monitoring, you can see section 31B of our Act says what? Right of access to reasonable times, that means as many times as we can or is necessary, to any premises including all Nigerian what? Seaports, airports, borders, where an industrial or commercial activity is being carried on, and may use reasonable force when necessary. This is the law of Nigeria. It's not my law. It's not the law of SON. So where we have resistance, and that is where our collaboration with the Nigerian police and civil defense comes in. And that is why anywhere we go, we have access and support of the Nigerian police force given to us all the way from Abuja through the state commissioners of police and down the ladder. Secondly, the second provision is the penalty. When you commit a crime, there's always, you have to pay for that crime, isn't it? When you commit a crime, when you go court and you steal, you go jail, isn't it? Or they go fine you, depending on what the gravity of the offense. So the penalty is clearly stated here. When you go, because during such warehouse activities, we always have resistance. And you can see the first provision of the Act clearly says, where necessary, we use what? Reasonable force. Reasonable force. So, you do have resistance. So, willful obstruction, interference, or resisting officers of the organization in the execution of their duty, you will be fined what? 1 million naira, not exceeding 1 million, or imprisonment, not exceeding what? 1 year. So if you only resist, you know, slap officer, we might look at it, okay, you will pay a fine of what? 1 million naira. But if you slap officer, maybe you come out in teeth, you will pay the 1 million and you still go to jail for 1 year. So please, whenever we come to your premises, we are not there as terrorists. We are not there to cause any harm. We are saving you as a Nigerian, because we are all consumers in our own right, isn't it? Yeah. There is nobody here that does not buy one thing or the other. If you are into electronics, you are not into building materials. You are not into tires. You are not into electric cables. I hope you understand. As simple as candle that you see, even shaving stick, can kill you. But people don't know. You think it's not going to be ordinary shaving stick. If it is not made of pure stainless steel and you use it, it gives you burns, and in most cases they are cancerous and you end up dying. As simple as that looks. The next slide. So field operations. Our act also empowers us to stop and search. Stop and search. We can stop any moving vehicle, either in the form of container or a truck, suspected to be carrying what? Substandard product. And in doing that, while we stop the vehicle, there are certain requirements that we'll find out from you in terms of documentation. Because if your consignment has gone through the proper, assuming it's an imported product, which most times it is, we want to find out certain documentations, which we will show you also at the end. But like I said, let me just put everything together so that you understand. We can ask you for certain documents like your conformity assessment program certificate, which is popularly known as what? SONCAT. And what is conformity assessment? These are offshore activities carried out. And why did Nigerian government approve this program for some? It's because instead of us wasting our resources, you get your foreign exchange, the popular dollar, that has become a problem now. You've struggled, raised your money, import this product, you bring it to Nigeria, and we discover it's substandard. We'll seize this product, and what? At the end of the day, once proven to be substandard, we destroy it. You've lost the money, you've reduced the per capita value of Nigeria. At the same time, the money has gone. That country is smiling, you are crying, the economy is crying, the product is also what? Wasted. So that is it. So we'll ask you for those documents, the SONCAP. We'll also ask you, I will show you the 4 documents later. We'll ask you for evidence of payments of port inspection service charges. We'll ask you for evidence of what? Sampling form. Because at the ports carried out offshore by what we call independent accredited firms. We have Intertech, Cotegna, China Standards and Inspection Company. Currently, as of yesterday, we have 9 or 10. We have 10 as of yesterday. Yes. For easy access, the management has increased their number to about 10 now. So that any part of China you go, any part of the world you go, there are half offices there. They can now check your product for you, and once it meets the requirements of the standard, they give you what? The SONCAP certificate. So, but our own way of all further verifying that those people are doing the outsourced job we give them, because some cannot be all over the world. It is the practice in standardization globally. These are renowned shipment companies in the world. So they are tested, they are justified, they are accepted. So we ask them to do that job on our behalf, and we monitor them. So we pick your samples, and there are ways we pick those samples, not just picking samples anyhow. We have our own procedure of picking samples. So when we pick this, so these are advantages at the end of the day that even goes to you, because you have your profile as one of those that what is complying.
In summary of what happened yesterday, can you tell us the benefits?
The benefit is that, like it has always been, standard organization are making efforts to sanitize the manufacturing industry, and then importation in Nigeria to make sure we standardize our product in compliance with international standard is a good thing, because it is working for an average man in the society and even for ourselves. We who are in manufacturing sector, when you have a very good product, you make a name for yourself, you better your profit, your organization and your product stands test of time. It brings up the standard of our society. So I think it's a very wonderful thing. And we in the manufacturing sector in aluminium is doing everything within our reach to meet up with the standard.
When you are talking, then you mentioned that they should extend this to Onitsha.
No. Now, extending to Onitsha and Nnewi from my colleague in another industry, in another area altogether. As regards to Anambra State, I am the chairman of Aluminium Manufacturers Association.
Where?
In Anambra. It encapsulates both Nnewi, Onitsha, and all the environment of Anambra State. So we, from time immemorial, has been relating with some. There comes quarterly inspection in our factories. We have good relationship with them. What they have done, the seminar they presented today, we are quite conversant with it. But in collaboration, we had to attend in order to refresh our memory. That's the.
My name is Austin Manuel Gidoff, the president of Automobile Manufacturers and Importers Association in Nnewi. So the program today that Son is organizing is very important to us, not only to me as an importer, but to all members of my importer association in Nnewi. So everybody will benefit from it. You ask about the fake products that is in the market. If there is any, they are promised that when you report it to them, we go into action and make sure they recover all those products, because we already registered with some. So it will be of good beneficial to all of us.
You're talking about that this is Nnewi has generated a lot of revenue for some.
Yes, when I was making my my speech to the organization, I made it clear that under my watch, we've rented an apartment for Sun before now. That can show that we want collaboration with them. Also, we have been paying for it before they now come in and have their permanent place in Nnewi. So, and why I said that we have made a lot of payments, a lot of revenue to Sun in Nnewi, because our members understood the importance of registration, both on Facebook registration and certificate of brand names and so on and so forth. So that's why I said that in Nnewi today is the highest generation of income to Sun in the whole Southeast. You can see that most of the directors did not contest it when I said it, but they know it's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.